All right, Jesse on Fire or Jesse on Everything. Haven't figured out which channel this is going on yet. However, this is going to be a very solid video because I've seen it already. This is one of the rare instances that when I'm filming this, I have actually seen the content that I'm going to show you. So there's that. Okay. Now, what I'm going to show you today is an excerpt of a long interview that I did with my boy, Viking Fitness. Okay. Now, what you need to know about Viking going into this thing is he is a prison gladiator Muay Thai fighter. All right. And he's a gigantic man, too. He's a big ass dude. He's also a big white dude who did, I don't know, a bunch of time in the most violent prison in Florida. Okay. And the reason why I bring up that he's white is because, so you know, this like white privilege on the outside. What's the exact opposite of white privilege, right? White privilege to be victimized if you can't defend yourself and stand your ground. That's what it's like to be white in prison, generally, from what I've heard, okay? I have not had the good luck to spend any time inside. But I wanted to say something first before I show you this interview, because this interview is bananas. But I'm going to show you an excerpt right now, which is... I asked him to tell me he told me a bunch of crazy ass stories, but this is one, it's actually two of them, but it's kind of in one little section of the video. And I'm going to show that to you. And when you watch this, I think he's like 6'3" or something, 6'3", like 200 pounds and like built, And just look at this guy and imagine ended up getting squared off with this fucking guy on the inside. It's like, Jesus, that would be, better be able to fucking stand your ground, man. Because you're going to have to earn it with him. But he's great at telling stories. He's cool as fuck. He actually, I think the way that we ended up meeting was he called me a pussy in the comments. And so obviously I was like, oh, yeah. And so I went and checked him out. I was like, oh, an actual tough guy. So obviously I should make friends with him because, I respect guys who can stand their ground. And he certainly can do that. But the other thing, so before I even show you this, I wanted to talk about one thing here. I wanted to examine why people are interested in these stories relating to like prison and like jail stories and people's stories just about prison politics and all that. Because obviously a very, very popular topic. Like, the same type of demographic a lot of the times that watches MMA or likes mafia stuff also likes prison stuff. I know I fall in that category. And I've never really heard anybody really talk about why. Like, why would that be interesting, right? Like, I know why, but just on its face, to a person who's not wired like us. People watch my channel, I'm going to say us, like people who are kind of wired for combat. Like if you ask a regular person, like, so why do you think people are interested in, the politics of like gangs in prison and the experience that people have had in incredibly violent prisons? I think that they would just go, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Like, because they're scared of going in there. And it's like, no. What it is that going to prison is like the ultimate like battle test, you could talk about which is actually a big, like fighting in the octagon. The reason why you respect any UFC fighter is because like, what's a bigger test than that? Like you're going to choose to get into a cage with another man and fight until one of you guys is unconscious in front of thousands of people and potentially millions of people. Like there are no pussies that do that. None. Okay. And it's the same type of thing. It's like, in a lot of cases, not their choice. But the fact that it's not their choice is almost like a bigger test. It's like you're going to throw a person in dog eat dog, dog stab dog, nightmare, hell on earth scenario where you're locked in like basically like summer camp, in a box where socially it's kind of all the same stuff as like, high school and summer camp, except they're all, well, not all of them, but a lot of them are incredibly dangerous, right? And people are looking to get rep by breaking people. And if you can't stand your ground, you're going to get broken, right? You have predators, prey. I don't know. You know what? Actually, the way Viking described himself, I wouldn't say that he described himself as a predator, but certainly not fucking prey either, right? Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think that's what it is. As a matter of fact, I know that's what it is. People want to think about themselves. They're like, could I carry it in there? Like, could I go in there and fucking carry it and not get victimized? So that's what I think it is personally. And generally, I'm pretty good at this kind of thing. But, understanding why people are interested in things and such. But with that, that's a long intro to get you into this actual interview because this is a great fucking story. And this is Viking. He's a fucking savage. So here you go. Enjoy.
So here I am, and I have a really close friend, and his name is Cornbread. And, Cornbread and I work out every day together. And just like his name is Cornbread, picture a man named Cornbread. a big
I
old
can.
country motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, every day we're working out, training. We're in the best shape of our life, bro. Like this dude's jacked on steroids. So anyway, long story short, we go in there and like this was a mistake. And this might sound a little like cold-hearted, but you always got to keep a knife on you. Even if it's a fight, you have to have a knife somewhere because there's someone else with a knife.
Yep.
So we come back to the dorm, and you know, this is like I talk to him to this day, man. You know, he's going through a lot, but he's one of my closest friends. And so Cornbread and I come back. Someone steals his radio, right? And you know, a lot of animosity is happening. And I was like, listen, bro, just go. And it doesn't even matter. Who do you think took your radio? He's like, I think it was that guy, this black dude, who in their favorite color is blue. So I was like, just go beat his ass, bro. No one's gonna admit to taking your radio. That shit's been sold and whatever, bro, for 10 honey buns, you know, the fucking black market of prison. And so Cornbread goes and just starts beating the living shit out of this dude. He's headbutting the dude, dude, he puts this dude unconscious, right? So he's like, anybody else want to fucking get it? Let's fucking roll. So then all his gang brothers like, yo, let's do this, bro. So I'm like, well, shit, let me get one. So I'm fighting side by side with my boy. Like, just, dude, we're fighting. Boom. The next guy comes in. And next guy comes in. The next guy comes in, right? He's like, man, run it back. We must have been fighting for like to the point where they're like, the cops are coming in. We take a break, get some water. We fight again, right? So this whole shit goes down, and guys that were supposedly our friends in there are all hiding, reading the Bible. So then now it's like, fuck, dude, like we just got involved. We just had a huge falling out. They were Crips, right? The gang they were in there were the Crips. But I don't know how legit their organization was or what, but there was about 10 to 15 of them. And Cornbread fought about 7 times that day, 7 different people. And I fought like 3, I think. And the 4th guy kind of, but like, so we're out of breath. We're bruised. My shoulder's dislocated. Cornbread ends up popping my shoulder back. So the Chicos, the Mexicans come up to us and like, hey, y'all got heart. Like, y'all go out to yard. They're waiting for you. You know, we're going to ride with you. And these motherfuckers are no joke. And this guy pulls out a lightning rod, and it looks like a fucking, like, picture of something half the size of a broomstick, but metal, and like a machete, a homemade machete. And they go out there, we go out there, and there's like about 30 of them, right? And they're standing there waiting for us. And there's like 4 of us. There's me, or it's him. Like, the Mexicans are behind us, but like there's 4 just white dudes. And we go out there. So this white Crip comes up to us, and he's like, you know, he's like, what's up, bro? He's like, listen, y'all, that shit ain't dead, bro. Y'all gonna have to come over here and handle this shit, right? So I was like, fuck. In my head, I'm thinking, like, if these Mexicans jump in and someone gets killed, like, this is it. I'm doing my life in here. You know, they give it's called an MIP, a murder in prison. So here we are, and we go into the blind spot by the rack or the handball court, and he's like, hey, I want to fight him. Points at me. He points at me. And at that time, him and I start getting down. Bam, 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 bam. We're fighting. I pick him up and slam him. And all of a sudden I hear, there's no wrestling here. Bam! I get hit with something, an object, right? I don't know what it was, right? I'm fucking blood's everywhere. My boy Cornbread comes in, hits this dude. Bam! Drops him. Fucking everybody just claims in. Locks are getting thrown and fucking crazy shit. You see the Mexicans coming in. They're slicing motherfuckers in their faces. There's blood everywhere. I stand back up, dude. I'm just swinging at motherfuckers. Boom! I get hit by that object again. I think it was a fucking brick. I don't know what it was, dude, but it was in a it fucking was like concrete in a sock. We're fighting. Doom. Like, the Mexicans are slicing these dudes like one at a time. So there's just blood everywhere. Then all of a sudden you hear, boom, and the guard got an AR-15 pointed at us, cocked back. He said, the next one will not be a warning shot. Get on the grass. So we all lay down, right? So I look over, right? And my boy is next to the dude he was fighting. He's got a knife in his hand, and we're all laying down, and he's stabbing the dude while they're laying down, right? I'm like, oh, fuck, bro. So all of a sudden, like, it's grass and a mixture of grass and concrete. The blood is kind of like flowing towards me. And I'm like, I ain't getting this shit in my face, bro. After seeing all this crazy, just insane, fucking vicious violence, I'm worried about getting a disease. I'm not even worried about what just happened. I'm worrying about this blood getting in my eye.
Yeah,
so I stand up. Yeah, so I stand up, right? And as soon as I stand up, another one of the black dudes that we were fighting stands up, right? And he comes at me, and he's got a lock, and he comes charging me, and the guard comes, sprays him with mace, right? Hits him right in the face. My boy Cornbread comes up, boom, he gets sprayed with mace. Bam, another dude hits the guard with a fucking lock or whatever he hit me with, right? The guard goes down, and fucking we crank back up again, and now they're shooting rubber bullets at us, and it just got so fucking crazy, bro. They finally got a hold of they finally took control of the compound. They all came running in there, slamming us. It was insane.
Damn. Did you get hit with one of the rubber bullets? Have you ever gotten hit with a rubber bullet?
No, I never did, but my friend Cornbread did, and
they go down. They go down at those things.
Yeah, it's definitely like comparing the type of, what's up, babe? Comparing, like, how do I say it? It's like real trench warfare, because there's no guns, there's no hiding. Like, so, like, if you're a man of your word, that's one thing that took me a long time to understand out here, because a lot of people talk shit, but they're like, if I tell you I'm gonna do something, I'm like, Jesse, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it, just because that's how I am. But in there's consequences. So that's another thing why martial arts pertain to me, not just the violence and the fighting part of it, but just knowing that the discipline and the structure, and knowing that these guys aren't just here to, like, for a good time. They're here to corner me. They're here to have my back and teach me right from wrong and help me. So, and to answer your question, yeah, it does. And that was one of the craziest things. The second craziest thing that I wasn't involved in this, but this was what I seen firsthand. At this point, I was very, like, just sincere is a way to say it, to my training. I was meditating, I was studying all types of martial art books and really understanding the history of Muay Thai, and I was reading about how they had prison fights in Thailand. And dude, I was so into it that, like, that's just where I was. Like, I'm gonna be a fighter, I'm gonna be a warrior, like, there's nothing you could tell me. And so my boy and I were chopping up some philosophy, and you know, one of my favorite quotes is, no man is your friend, no man is your enemy, but every man is your teacher, right? That's kind of the way you got to have the perspective when you're in there. You'll learn something one way or another. And we're coming out, we're talking philosophy, and this guard is like, all right, now, you know, he's searching everybody as they come out. And all of a sudden, this black Muslim comes up to this guard, bro, and he's got a fucking just huge slicer and just slices this guard's face open. And why? I don't know what it was about. I heard rumors there was a hit on this guard, or maybe he was like, there's so much, like, they call it like inmate.com, but you know, it was just one of the most, like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, you know, and the splatter hit both of us, right? And we're like, oh shit. So it's right in front of the guard. Boom, he gets shot up with rubber bullets. This guard is freaking out. There's blood everywhere. We lay down. I got all this blood on me. And you know, that shit was like so just brutal, man. Like, it happened so quick. And without martial arts and training and just lifting weights and being active, you know, I don't think I would be the husband and father and man I am today, because of all the disgusting post-traumatic stress shit that you see and go through every day in there. You know, martial arts is my therapy, you know, and it's like every day, at least where I was at, you know, some prisons are softer, some are harder, you know, but every day you're seeing a fist fight, you're seeing someone get stabbed, you're seeing someone get sliced, you're seeing some, excuse my language, no disrespect to the gay culture, but you're seeing some in there doing this and that. You're seeing some fucking guy get it like just beat the fuck half to death. Like, you're seeing the guards come in and flip your butt. It's just always every day, and you're containing. Yeah, it's a pressure cooker, and that's why you see a lot of gentlemen that get out and they don't know how to function in society. Some, you know, they're just losers. They don't want to work for what they got. They go, oh, I got a felony, it's an excuse. But you have some that try their hardest